Chapter number 6 from your economics book of grade 9, and the name of the chapter is Indian Economy, Primary Sector. We have already came across this term primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. Primary sector includes agricultural sector, we can say this. Now, in India, or you can say in Indian economy, primary sector includes agriculture like poultry farming, dairy farming, horticulture, then fishery and forestry and other land-based activities such as mining. All these are coming under primary sector. Let's begin this chapter. Primary sector in India. A large section of Indian workforce earns their livelihood from agriculture and activities. What is the meaning of agriculture and allied activities? Agricultural activities means you can understand cultivating of crops, plowing, sowing of seeds, then pesticides, harvesting, then fertilizers. All these things activities are getting into agricultural activities. Now, other than this agricultural activities, we will find that there is non-farm activities related to like poultry and dairy farming, fishery, horticulture means cultivation of fruits and vegetables, horticulture. Floriculture means cultivation of flowers. They are not saying about the crops only here, right? Sericulture means cultivation of silkworm, etc. are considered as allied activities. Now, in your syllabus, contribution of agriculture in Indian economy. First is contribution towards the employment generation. Agriculture is an important source of livelihood for the majority of the working population in India. In 1951, about 69% of the Indians were engaged in this agricultural sector. But at present, we will find more or less around 50% of the India's population is engaged in agricultural work for earning their livelihood. So, in general, we can say that yes, agriculture sector is giving employment to lots of people in India. Contribution towards the growth of industries. Indian agriculture has played a great role towards the development of Indian industries, particularly the agro-based industries. What is the meaning of agro-based industries? The industries which use the raw materials which they get from the agriculture, like for example, cotton textiles. Right? The cotton textiles, those are making the cotton clothes. They have to get cotton first, and this cotton is coming from the agriculture department itself. Like the sugar industries, when they want to make sugar, they have to get sugar cane which is getting cultivated from the fields, right? So, supply of raw materials to agro-based industries. Agriculture provides important raw materials for the expansion of major agro-based industries. Thus, industries like sugar, tea, jute, cotton textiles. Thus, higher production of these cash crops in agriculture would mean smooth expansion of the agro-based industries. Next, creating a market for various industrial products. Agriculture in India also plays a crucial role in creating a broad market for various industrial products. Agriculture now uses various factors of production which are manufactured in the industrial sectors. For instance, chemical fertilizers, power tillers, tractors, harvesting machines, pump sets are some of the important factors used by the agriculture for raising their productivity. Thus, Indian agriculture creates a large market for various industrial goods. Next, contribution towards internal and external trade of commerce. Internal trade means what? Within the country itself, and external means they are talking about exporting with the other countries. Okay. Internal trade in food, grains and other agricultural products help in the expansion of service sector. For example, agricultural market, agricultural credit, transport services required for carrying these products from one region to another region. The export earning of India from these commercial crops such as raw cotton, raw jute, etc. Plantation crops such as you can say tea, coffee, natural rubber. Horticulture crops such as you can say fruits, vegetables, medicinal plants, spices, etc. occupy an important place in Indian exports. Recently, flower cultivation, just now I told you, floriculture, has been identified as an important force area for export promotion. What are the problems in Indian agriculture? Several economists are in the view that traditional mode of cultivation, insecurity of tenure among the cultivators, or you can say fragmented land, that means small piece of land, small size of land holding, then their in-depthness, they are not getting the loan facilities, and many more problems are there which the Indian farmers, or you can say cultivators, are facing nowadays. Inadequate storage, the market facilities, lack of irrigation facilities. Okay, these are the problems. For this, we can say that the productivity from the agricultural sector is not that high in India in compared to other developed and developing countries that we can find in the table given in your book. You can find USA, Canada, Japan, China. Right. Next, what are the factors responsible for the problems of Indian agriculture? Use of traditional technology or limited use of improved technology. First and foremost thing is yet Indian farmers, or we often say yet Indian poor farmers, are not having so much of financial, their financial condition is not so very developed, so they cannot adapt, or they cannot opt for some modern machines, yet they are following the primitive method, the manual methods of cultivation, which is not giving huge profit and which is not giving them a high production also. Next is small and fragmented land holdings. The average size of agricultural holding is less than 2 hectares in India. These types of small holdings cannot be regarded as economic holding. So unless the size of the land is big, no scientific cultivation, or you can say mechanized process of cultivation can be incorporated. Okay, the more the area or the piece of land will be, the more it will be easier to adapt the scientific way of cultivating, or you can say applying new machines, right? So more small it will be very difficult to operate those small piece of land with machines. Next, inadequate irrigation facilities and dependency on monsoon. Across India, if we just look around, we will find very less, only in few places like Punjab, Haryana, where they have got green revolution, they have developed themselves, and the irrigation facility is really sufficient, and they do not depend upon the nature only. But other places in India, we don't have adequate irrigation facility. What's the meaning of irrigation? Irrigation means artificial way of supplying water to the lands where cultivation is being carried on. So we can say maximum all over India we will find that they are dependent on the monsoon. Not all, but few exceptions are there, but majority if you see, we will find that they are depending on the monsoon. Lack of rural credit facilities. Credit means loan. The poor farmers don't even get the loan facilities properly from the government or from the banks. Now here also I would like to say there are two kind of credit facilities. One is the non-institutional sources of credit and other is the institutional sources of rural credit. Non-institutional means where they can borrow money from any of their neighbor, from the money lender, okay, where no paperwork is needed. From there they are getting the money, but if you get the money from the bank, that is the institutional sources, then this farmer would have paid less amount of interest. Because of the paperwork, because lack of facility, they are not able to come up to the bank and take the loan. Okay, because they are not educated. Maximum of Indian farmers, they try to avoid the paperwork because of their illiteracy. So they go for the non-institutional sources, either go for the neighbor or they ask from the money lenders, and they end up in exploitation. That is, they end up in earning more, they end up in giving more interest to the money lenders. Inadequate storage facilities. The grains, the surplus grains which are produced, they don't have proper place to keep them. Excuse me. They always keep them in maybe carts, in pits, or in kacha storage houses. After a certain time, you will find that 10 to 20% of the grains they cultivate every year gets spoiled because of the dampness, rats, ants. Okay, at least 10 to 20% gets destroyed. They don't have any adequate facility to store their grains properly. Inadequate market facilities. Inadequate market facilities means that the farmers are not getting proper market. They're not getting any proper adequate information about the current price of the grains. So whatever option they get from the local traders, they accept it. Now these local traders buy these grains and sell at a high price in the urban area, but these rural farmers, they are not aware of the current price of the grains. For that, they are accepting the lower prices, and the amount of hard work they are doing, and when the return is so less, they become discouraged and they don't go for, you can say, various kind of crops cultivation. They try to stick to only one kind of crop cultivation.